All right, time again for Truth About Markets, New Zealand, RDU, Christchurch. Max and Stacy with you for the next 30 minutes, breaking it on down for you economically, socially, politically, sociologically, psychiatrically, and let's not forget minerally.
Minerally? Are you talking about gold?
Yep. Is gold a mineral?
Gold is, it's on the periodic table, isn't it? It's an element. Yeah. It's an element.
Symbol AU. On the periodic table, it's number, it's down there near the bottom.
AU is also the identifier on the internet for Australia.
Wow, that's cool.
That's also down there on the bottom too.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? You know, I saw some sort of headline. I perused a bit of it, but there's some politician in Australia saying if they ban all of these Kiwis from coming in, that it'll help their environment and their their budget.
No, really?
Yeah, they want to ban people from New Zealand coming.
Ban all Kiwis.
Because right now, I guess people from New Zealand are able to travel to move freely to Australia.
Well, wait a minute. How big is Australia?
Well, it's giant,
right? And how many people actually live there?
Well, that's the thing, is like a lot of it is a desert.
Yeah, it's all empty spaces there. Well, Australia's got their koala up their schwing if they think that they're going to be overrun by Kiwis. It's a big, wide open, empty space. Aliens, there's like 50 million aliens that live in the middle of Australia, and nobody even knows about it because it's so big that only a few Aborigines over there are even aware of it.
Yeah, but by the way, what goes on in the northern part of Australia? Because nobody ever talks about that.
The sharks there eat people.
No, that's down in the south, off of the the Great Whites.
Of Olivia Newton-John.
No. Up north is like it's like a jungle. You know, it's hot and humid and wet.
Well, they got the most extreme animals.
That's true.
In all these different locations, they got the biggest bugs, the biggest sharks, the biggest bears.
Bears. They have spiders, deadly spiders.
What about Kiwi? What about New Zealand? They got any strange animals, or it's just like they've got Christchurch? It's got a bunch of Protestants running around chasing after high-priced coffee. What do they got in Christchurch?
They have more sweet, cuddly animals. Australia has deadly ones. Even those little black spiders.
So why are these Kiwi? Why do they even want to go to Australia if it's full of deadly animals and they got nothing but cuddly, furry little creatures in New Zealand?
You sound like Jeremy Clarkson. He was talking about how awful Britain is and how he would love to leave it, but he didn't know where to go. And he went through a list of possible countries to move to and then talked about how awful they were. And he mentioned Australia, and he said he wouldn't go there because of all the deadly animals that might kill him.
Right, exactly. It's a death zone, the dead zone. Australia. Maybe it's just Kiwi adventurers looking to make some adventure films. I hear there's an opening in the adventure film market over there.
Is that right? Why are you talking so quiet and far away from the mic? Can anybody out there hear him? Email me if you can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next week I'll make sure he speaks into the mic.
Oh my God! So what's happening with the Kiwi dollar this week, Sweet Pea?
Oh, Lord knows. Everything is up, isn't it? Because it's all against the dollar. The dollar's been tumbling. And for how many weeks, though?
See, we're just like a regular banker out there. You know, people call up their bankers and brokers and say, how's my account doing? And they go, who knows? Who cares? What do you care about? What's your problem? What do you call me for? Look, everything's great. Stop bothering me. Go back to work. You know, that's the way I used to treat my clients like that when I was working on Wall Street. Why are you calling me? Stop bothering me. I'm trying to turn your account.
Tell the people about some of the death threats you received in the 87 crash.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun day. You know, a few people did get murdered. I think one broker in Atlanta, I think, did actually get gunned down in his office after the 87 crash from a disgruntled customer. You know, you got to watch out for those disgruntled customers. Code word for psychos coming around with their guns and whatnot, looking for reimbursement for trading losses. Ooh, how embarrassing. Yeah, we had a few disgruntled customers. But, of course, the way the securities laws are set up, they have no recourse because usually when somebody opens a brokerage account, they sign the new account form, which if you read the fine print, it says that you by becoming an account holder of this firm, you give up all your rights to you're bound to arbitration if there's any dispute with your account. And that means if you want to sue your broker, you go to an arbitration panel. And the arbitration panel, of course, is stacked with brokers and bankers. And so very, very few people actually win when they go sue their broker and banker because they sign all rights away to sue when they open the account. It's in the fine print. And all firms do it. And that's part of the nice colluding that goes on with the industry to make sure that they don't have to be held accountable in any way, that they can commit larceny with impunity. That's kind of the byword of the industry.
Of course, in America, however, your clients do have recourse to their AK-47s.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why, it's always good to get a desk that faces the front door of the office. So you can see the clients coming in, and you get a chance to hide under your desk or jump out the window. All the new guys get the desks right near the door with their backs to the door. So I don't have to, all I have to do is make sure I'm not the guy getting shot. If I can jump out the window and the guy out by the door, my fellow broker, gets shot, then that's part of the game plan.
You jump out the window with your parachute? Most of those office buildings in Wall Street, you're like on the 100th floor.
No, I'm saying down in Atlanta, Georgia. They all got those low-lying, one single story,
Yeah, but you never worked in Atlanta.
I was a visitor there. I'm just saying that's where the guy got gunned down, in Atlanta. And I visited Atlanta during the 80s to visit my brother's stockbrokers. They all carried guns. They all carried more than one gun. This guy was giving me a ride to Five Corners or wherever it is in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
where all these lesbians hang out. Mm-hmm. And he's like, check out my gun. I'm like, wow, that's a really big gun. And he goes, no. And he reaches under his seat and he pulls out another gun and he goes, this is a big gun. It certainly was. So
that's his client management tool?
Yeah, you got to manage the clients, keep them in line. You want to manage their expectations. If they think that they're entitled to participate in the same kind of profit schemes that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are participating in, you bust a cap in their shillelagh stick and see how that works out for them. Because it's not a two-tier system, baby. You got to get with the program. It's the money flows down from the mountaintop, and you're at the bottom of the mountain, okay? It's like anybody who lives in a country that lives at the bottom of the river. The water down there is not as clean as it is up at the top of the glacier. So get used to it.
That's a good way to put it, Max.
Yeah, well, that's what inflation's all about. The government creates trillions of dollars worth of fresh capital. It's used first by the bankers who are able to launder that money effectively by cycling it through stock markets. This whole stock market gain in the last 6 months is basically money laundering. All the TARP money and relief money and subsidy money and bailout money, they are in the process of paying back money on Wall Street. But that's after they use it to goose stock prices up 100%, 200%. Goldman Sachs stock is up 300%. It's okay. They use the free money to manipulate stock prices higher. Then they are able to sell a little bit of it and pay back the money that they borrowed. But that's the same thing as money laundering. Okay? They were able to take government money and put it in their pocket as a Christmas bonus by laundering it through the stock market. Now that the money laundering is effectively finished and bonuses have been paid out for Christmas, now you're going to see the stocks take a huge dump in the first half of 2010. They're going to go back to 6,500 in the Dow Jones.
However, what does that mean for New Zealand?
Well, New Zealand's got the Kiwi dollar, which is considered a resource currency along with the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar, and it's they're in a cul-de-sac of the global economy where they're somewhat immune.
Nobody's immune from the toxins.
Whenever I say that, I get a lot of emails from New Zealanders saying, "You're out of your gourd, you don't know, you're crazy. You didn't know, there's plenty. We got problem down here. We got problem."
Okay, well, you know what? We have to go to a music break, and then we're going to be back in just a few moments.
Mm-hmm. All right. I thought of a practical joke, by the way.
Okay, well, you tell us that when we come back.
All right.
Okay.